Yo, 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 what is going on, my fellow wrestling fans? Welcome to a brand new week and welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of Champions, where we talk about the different storylines, personalities, controversies, and everything in between that center around this world we know and love as professional wrestling. I am your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, the excellence of execution in the flesh as always. And my co-host needs no introduction, but the hell with it. He's about to give y'all one anyway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is his tag team partner, Jonathan Randall, the adventurer himself. Always make your life an adventure, as says on my Instagram bio. And welcome to our soap opera of professional wrestling, that bringing you that wrestling news you need to hear. Kurt, how you been? How was your weekend?
Pretty good. I had a very busy day today. I had 3 job interviews, and yeah, I was running around the
Oh,
city all day today. I literally just got
damn.
back to my best friend's house like a half an hour ago.
Oh, wow. Oh, you had a busy day today. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I've been up since 5:30.
Wow.
Kobe Bryant shit.
Right.
But yes, speaking of soap operas, we saw a huge soap opera this past Friday night on SmackDown as we finally got our answer to who attacked Jade Cargill back in November.
Yeah, and it was very apparent who did it. It was very apparent, and long to behold, it was Naomi the whole entire time.
Yep. Bianca Belair came out on Friday. She didn't do her classic entrance, like where she twirls around and like skips to the ring. She wasn't doing none of that. And then she came out, called out Naomi, and then she like asked Naomi straight up, "Did you do it?" And Naomi kept kind of trying to deviate from the question, talking about how we need to focus on winning the tag titles back and all this other jazz. But Bianca was not having it. Bianca asked her straight up, "Did you do it?" And then Naomi went into the fact that Jade's been like, benefiting off of Bianca's hard work, and Bianca's kind of like been not doing what she should be doing in the women's division because of, having to carry Jade so much. And it was to the point where like she was crying and Bianca like wasn't trying to hear it, and Bianca was crying too. And she just said, "Stop deviating, stop with your explanations. Did you do it? Yes or no? That's all you have to say." And Naomi straight up said, "I did it."
Yeah,
Damn.
and I think she took a page from Rikishi from her father-in-law, because
Yep.
she pretty much said, "Hey, I did it for you. I did it for you,
Just like
Bianca."
Just like Rikishi did it for The Rock back in 2000. Yes, she
Right.
takes right after her father-in-law. And yeah,
Hmm.
but she was in tears. She was very upset, saying, "I did it for you. I did it for your career. I did it for us so we could be a team." And Bianca just said, "You and I, we're through." And she walked away. And then Naomi kept calling her to come back, begging her to come back. And then Naomi straight up called her an ungrateful bitch as she walked
Yeah.
away.
Even Naomi even said that she would have did it again. She would have did it the same thing again to Jay Cargill. I'm like, damn.
Damn, yo, it's like that.
Yeah. It was literally like watching a soap opera. I was crying. It was like a breakup.
It was like a
As far,
Tyler
well, I
Perry
mean,
movie. It was a Tyler Perry movie right in front of our eyes.
everybody was telling them in this segment, give them all the awards they need, what it deserves. And yeah, it was a very good segment. It was a very an emotional, heartfelt segment, like a breakup. And yeah, we finally got the truth. And as Bianca was literally like headed towards the stage, out comes Jade Cargill.
Yeah, they show on the screen a car arriving to the arena. Then Jade Cargill comes out of it. Then she comes out to the arena. Her and Bianca briefly stare at each other, and then Bianca just walks away. And then Jade runs to the ring, and Naomi tries to run away from her, but Jade catches her, starts beating her up, and then she lays her out with the Jaded on the mat. But even as she had Naomi up for the Jaded, you could hear her scream out Bianca, but she wasn't coming to save her ass this time. No
Nope.
freaking way.
Nope. Wow.
So yeah, this was a pretty good segment. I personally liked it. It was very polarizing. There was a lot of mixed reviews about it online, but
Mm,
personally, I enjoyed it. I think it accomplished what it needed to. It was definitely a
mm.
side of Naomi and Bianca I had never seen before on WWE TV.
Oh yeah,
And
just the emotional side. That's the emotional side. Like when you see stuff like that in segments, that says a lot about your character, especially from Naomi. You like From Bianca is not surprising. I fully believe that Bianca prior to this could pull that off though, but Naomi never did this before, and my hat's off to her. More importantly,
Yeah, yeah, this is definitely like a big moment, especially for Naomi, because she's never really had the
hmm
spotlight like this before.
yep,
And from the way it's looking now, this is going to lead to her very first ever singles match at WrestleMania. Because obviously, from this is all leading to Naomi and Jade at WrestleMania. But
mm,
if they are doing this match at WrestleMania, which they most likely are, they need to do something to get Naomi's heat back because she's already been laid out by Jade twice. So the
yeah,
next time her and Jade come face to face or cross paths, yeah, Naomi has to definitely get her heat back one way or another.
yeah. Get some momentum on yourself since you're the heel, and also get the fans to take you seriously as a heel as well.
Yeah, but I think within the next few weeks, the way she could possibly get that heat back is starting her own stable. And the two women I could possibly see
Hmm.
as part of that stable are Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend.
Sorry, I was sipping my coffee. Yeah, that's very possible, and that's a good tandem if they're able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Because yeah, with Naomi getting her ass beat by Jade twice, yeah, she has to rebound from that to get people to be interested in a match between her and Jade at WrestleMania. But
Right.
regardless of all that, I am very happy for her for all the years she's put in, all the time she's put in. She's finally gonna get to have the spotlight at WrestleMania in a way she's never had it before.
Yes.
Yeah, but poor Bianca, yo, you could definitely tell that she's like going through a lot, especially if you see her social media.
Oh my God. You would think that she'll be like in a positive mindset right now because she's going to WrestleMania. She's competing for the World Women's Championship against Iyo Sky. And now you have this situation over her head. Yeah, it's a little bit of a distraction, man. You can't blame her for that.
Yeah, and she went off on social media on Monday where she like put up a post putting up the middle finger to everybody who thinks that she was involved in the whole Jade attack or like had something to do
Oh,
with it. Yeah, she
huh.
was not having it.
Wow. Yeah.
But honestly, I like it. I like seeing this side of her.
Yeah, it's a different side of her. It's a more an aggressive side of her, which we'll get into later as we talk about Monday Night Raw from this past Monday. But yeah, it is a little bit of a different side from Bianca.
Yeah, definitely a different side of Bianca, also a different side of Naomi. And yeah, we're gonna see where this heel turn goes for her because this is the first time she's been a heel pretty much in a decade.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. And there was some news that came out about Jade Cargill the other day, actually, that same day of SmackDown, that apparently her and Shayna Baszler almost got into a fight backstage a few months ago before she, took her
Mm,
hiatus.
wow.
Yeah, initially the report came out from the Wrestling Observer from Dave Meltzer. I mean, you could take that with a grain of salt. But then PW Insider kind of confirmed it a little while after that, talking about how this all stemmed from the match at Clash of the Castle, the three-way tag team title match when Shayna Baszler had Jade Cargill in the sleeper. I guess she had it on really tightly to the point where Jade tapped out when she wasn't supposed to tap out. And apparently that led to some kind of issue between the two of them where supposedly Jade said that Shayna Baszler needs to learn how to work. And look, Jade Cargill's great. She has a great presence. I think she definitely has a lot to offer. But if that's the case, if she really said that, I don't think she's the person to be talking about other people's ring experience, especially somebody like Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because Cargill doesn't really have that much ring experience.
Yeah. And let's be honest, legit. I know Jade Cargill's an impressive looking woman. She's in great shape, but Shayna Baszler would kill her in a real fight.
Oh, of course. She has that
Yeah,
MMA background.
yeah, they're trained fighters. They are trained to fuck you up.
Right.
And also, apparently, there was some report that Jade Cargill asked for time off, like during the holidays, but the holiday tour, like after Christmas, was mandatory. But somehow she ended up getting that time off because of the injury angle. I guess she, I guess they're like saying that she was injured, but some people like don't believe that she was injured and that she just said that to get that time off.
Mm,
I mean, and then also that video that was posted on Instagram, like right after she came back last week, about how there's like wolves in the locker room pretending to be sheep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and even Chelsea Green posted a response to that online the other day with like her like laying down on the couch with like her dogs. Yeah, this whole thing feels weird. Yeah, like all came out of nowhere. Like literally, like right after Jay comes back, this whole story breaks out.
Yeah, that is a bit weird.
Look, we're not there. We don't know how true this is, or if it is true. But considering how like much attention it was getting when it came out on Friday and how big of a story it kind of was, I mean, it's possible. It could have happened. Very possible that it did.
I mean, I kind of believe it too, though. But hey, may never know.
Yeah, yeah, because it's funny. We did hear about that rumor a few months ago that apparently Bianca and Jade don't get along in real life.
Oh,
You heard that, right?
I think I heard that. Yeah.
I heard that at least twice, like even before Jade took her hiatus. Look, it could be true. It's very possible, but only they know the answers to these questions.
That's true.
But regardless, Jade definitely has a lot to offer. She has that presence. She has that. She has those mic skills. She definitely has the look, and yeah, she could be a big star. Well, she already is, but you know what I mean.
I mean, that's why they brought her because of her, her ring presence and what she brings. And then, there is still improvement though. But like, yeah, she has a lot to bring to the table, and then her future is bright. So yeah.
Yeah, she was great in AEW. I really enjoyed her AEW run, especially when she was TBS champion and she had the whole baddie section and she had that like long undefeated streak. Yeah, she was killing it when she was there.
Yeah.
But WWE is definitely a different vibe, a different locker room, different ball game. And if she is rubbing people the wrong way by certain things she may be saying or doing, yeah, that's not going to be tolerated.
Nope. Like I told you, the vibe of the locker room is, you literally hit it on the head. Yeah, the locker room vibe is completely different from the AEW one. So there's certain things that happen in that AEW locker room won't be tolerated in the WWE locker room.
Hell to the no.
Nope.
But we'll see what else comes out of the story in the coming weeks. If anything does come out of the story, who knows? Maybe next thing we know, we'll see Jade Cargill and Shayna Baszler like post a selfie together, possibly like at a Atlanta Hawks game, sitting in the front row,
Hopefully.
having margaritas.
Oh God.
Oh no, Shayna Baszler likes beer. Shayna Baszler likes to drink beer, from what Bailey said.
Doesn't matter though, as long as they take a selfie with each other and they
It's
squash
so
everything.
funny. My brother and my nephew actually went to that same Hawks game where Jade Cargill and Naomi were like seen together like
Yeah.
2.5 years ago.
Mm.
Yeah, he was the first person to tell me. He was like, he had like really good seats, and then he sees like right across from them, it's Jade Cargill and Naomi. I'm like, shit, I didn't know they were friends. I mean, they're not friends anymore, at least on TV. But yeah,
Right.
that shit really threw me off when I saw that.
Wow.
All right, but let's get into a very interesting episode of Monday Night Raw that took place this past Monday from my neck of the woods of New York City at Madison Square Garden. And I actually passed by Madison Square Garden earlier that day because I had to take the train home from Penn Station. And yeah, as I was walking by, I see Cody Rhodes standing outside, filming the part of the show, like where he walks into the arena. Like, because like at the beginning of Raw, they show like the footage of everybody like, arriving to the arena earlier in the day. When I was passing by him, they were filming that.
Yeah, I know you sent me the pictures of it, and boy, did you miss out! I mean, it kind of sucks that you had to skip out on that night. Like I said, man, it's always a treat for us wrestling fans when there's always an event at Madison Square Garden, especially if it's a live event like Raw, SmackDown, and if it's a PLE, which has yet to happen. It's been a long time. I'm still waiting for them to deliver a PLE over there. But anyway, though, Monday Night Raw, Madison Square Garden, enough said, and it was one hell of a show.
It was a very interesting show with celebrities out the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Including Macaulay Culkin.
Yes, it's always great to see him. He's always getting a huge pop. Man, that dude, it's just crazy how long he's crazy how long he's still into wrestling. And just every time we see him, man, it's always good to see him, man. Especially personally, where he's what he's been through, from to overcome everything that he's been through, and to see him in good spirits. It's always great to see him, man. So that was awesome.
Yeah, and it gave me flashbacks of Home Alone 2, considering that they were in the garden.
Ah,
Oh shit! Maybe he stayed at the Plaza Hotel.
yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say the same thing.
Yo, it's crazy. His brother actually won an Oscar. The same brother
Yeah, I
that
know.
the same
Yeah, I
brother
know.
that was in the Home Alone movies. Yeah, he won an
Yeah.
Oscar.
Yep.
Yeah, but I fucks with Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, I'm glad to see that he like turned his life around, like rebounded from his personal issues that he was dealing with a few years back. So shout out to him. Also shout out to Lindsay Lohan too, because she's another one who kind of overcame those issues too.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, heard about her. Yeah, good for
Yeah,
her.
because I remember, yeah, definitely back in those like mid 2000s years, they were like bash her in the tabloids and in the media all the time. But
Yep.
she made it through that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, so Macaulay Culkin was there. Also, Fabulous was there. It was good to see him there too.
Yeah, some of the UFC fighters were there too. There was another rapper called Rich the Kid who I listened to, like years ago. He was there. Also, comedian Andrew Schulz, which we'll get into later, he was there. I don't know if you ever listened to his stand up comedies, but he's pretty funny though.
Yeah, my best friend whose house I'm staying at right now is a big fan of his. He's been telling me about
Yeah.
him for years. He actually went to go see him perform live in Long Island. And actually, that same special that you see on Netflix is the one show that my friend saw him perform.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, similar to like when I saw Dave Chappelle in Vegas, that
Hmm.
same show I went to see Chappelle was the same one he put on Netflix a few months after. The one
Okay.
that everybody wanted to get removed, get canceled because of the transphobic jokes.
Oh, right, right, right.
Yeah, that situation was like the main one that convinced me that people are too damn sensitive.
Right.
Yeah, but that's another story for another time. But yes, we had Raw open up with main event Jey Uso. Well, in this case, opening match Jey Uso coming out to do his entrance on TV for the first time in a month, believe it or not.
Hmm.
But I did like the fact that he was wearing Knicks colors. Shout out to Jey
Oh,
Uso for repping the Knicks.
Andrew Schultz was wearing a Knicks too. He was wearing that Knicks jacket.
Yeah, good shit. Just too bad the Knicks have been kind of in a little bit of a slump lately, but they'll be okay. Yeah, but Jey Uso opened the show against Grayson Waller, which he, not to no surprise, won. And then after the match, he had to fight off Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. But as he was fighting them off, he was attacked from behind by Gunther once again, who trapped him in the sleeper hold, laid his ass out. And I'm not going to lie, this is starting to feel a little repetitive.
It is though, because it's the second straight week this has happened, and then it was announced later on that next week in Belgium, ladies and gentlemen, that it will be Jey Uso versus Austin Theory. So I hope they don't do this whole thing again where Jey Uso from behind gets choked out by Gunther. I hope they do like a segment where Jey Uso finally gets the upper hand over Gunther. Hopefully. So
Well, I
it's like okay, it's so far it's been the longest storyline going into WrestleMania, right? I just hope that they ended on the right foot because it's been so far it's starting off good, but it's kind of like towards the middle, it's kind of getting a little bit slow and repetitive, like you just mentioned earlier.
Yeah, up until about 2 weeks ago, I was saying that this was the most consistent storyline going into WrestleMania. But the
Yes.
last 2 weeks, it hasn't really felt as interesting. I think one way they could spice it up and really help with the build is if they do an angle, like maybe next week, where Gunther beats the hell out of Jey Uso so badly that he has to be written off TV for a few weeks.
Mm, no, I feel like if they have Jey Uso kind of like get the upper hand where he takes him out, where he kind of like has some advantage over him a little bit, where he's the one who beats him up at least once, that would be a little bit better. But I feel like it is the longest storyline that they've been doing so far as we're headed to WrestleMania. So I just don't want to see something that it's pretty much one sided.
Yeah, I get it. And they could even go as far as to just like, have them separated for a few weeks too, because they've been building this up so much for the last month or so. And even the other storylines, like you don't see them interact with each other every week. Like even John Cena and Cody Rhodes. You haven't seen them interact at all since what happened at Elimination Chamber.
Oh, not
And
until finally next week.
yeah,
Right.
so yeah, it wouldn't be so bad if they took a little break from it, but we'll see if they do.
Yeah.
And also on Raw, we had the douchebag fuck Logan Paul make an appearance, and this
Oh
dude even
my
went as
God. He
and this piece of shit went as far as to rip off a shirt from a fan that said Logan Paul sucks. Does this dude not know how cold it is in New York this time of the year? He's gonna rip off a dude's shirt.
I mean, isn't he from Cleveland? So I mean, he should
Who
know.
cares? Who cares where he's from? He's a douchebag.
But anyway, the funniest thing, as he's trying to cut his promo, bless you, thank you. As he was trying to cut his promo, the crowd wasn't having it. They just
Hell
wouldn't let him
no.
talk. It was the funniest thing.
New Yorkers see through bullshit. That's why we don't like Logan Paul, and that's why we don't like most politicians.
Yeah, man, they weren't having it. And then he turns his attentions to Andrew Schulz and pretty much tell him, "What are you here for?" And he's pretty much here for the steel cage. And he's like, "Yeah, I know you're here for that. That's cool and all, but like, who are you here for? I mean, obviously you're here to see me." And they're like, and Andrew Schulz, I loved how he was like, "Nobody's here for you. Nobody likes you, okay."
Bro, we wouldn't come to see Logan Paul for free.
Oh, it was the funniest thing ever. But in typical WWE fashion, as always, whenever you see a celebrity, especially with a heel, they're always going to get the celebrity involved. And Logan Paul throws Andrew Schulz over the barricade into the ring as he's about to beat him up. And as this is about to happen, out come AJ Styles and he attacks Logan Paul. Logan Paul gets out of the ring. And, I loved how AJ Styles chimed in. "I'm not done with your ass yet. Come back in here." Love that. So it looks like, I don't know. So far, there's starting to do little feud between each other. I don't know. Maybe I would like to see from the rumors that I've been hearing, they may do like a fatal four-way for that IC title for Braun Breaker, which will involve him, AJ Styles, possibly Logan Paul, and maybe somebody else. I'd like to see that. But yeah, so far they're starting up a little feud between AJ Styles and Logan Paul.
Yeah, I'm all here for it too. It'll be a fun match if they do it one-on-one. But if they
Yeah,
do like a multi-person match for the Intercontinental
I
title
love
for
that.
two of them,
I
Braun
love that.
Breaker, maybe Penta, maybe they could throw Penta
Yes.
in there too.
Yes. Penta,
Ludwig,
please, of all.
Ludwig
Yes.
Kaiser, maybe they could throw in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ludwig Kaiser and Penta are going to face each other next week.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. But as far as the segment, I love the segment. I liked it.
Yeah, it was great seeing Andrew Schulz there. And
Yeah.
yeah, like there were people complaining about, how like they were pimping out the celebrities so much on Raw Monday. But in this case, I didn't mind it because it was a part of an angle. So it's cool.
Yeah, I didn't mind it either. I mean, come on. Like they always do that. No, the funniest thing, I don't know if you forgot about this. You forgot to mention this. So SmackDown this past Friday was in Philadelphia, right?
Oh yeah, when
They
the Sixers
booed
players,
the
yeah,
hell out of the 76ers player, and well deserved, man. I feel bad. Look, man, I feel bad for the 76ers, man, but look, you're not like, look, the only team in Philadelphia that's being praised and celebrated are the Eagles.
goes
76ers
without
is not
saying.
doing nothing. And
Yeah,
what made it even worse, Kurt, that they're holding up, you know how the WWE has like those custom championship belts for certain sports teams? Yeah, they're holding up their own little championship belt, and
they don't
people are
deserve
like,
it. They don't deserve those
well, that's the
belts.
only championship they're gonna have, Kurt. I mean, come on, like that whole team is a mess. My
Yeah,
God, ooh,
they've been having potential for the last few years where they would have good runs, and even Joel Embiid was MVP a few years ago, but
he's
they could
always,
never get
but
past
he's
the second
always,
round.
I know, and what makes it worse, the dude's always,
Hurt.
hurt, and I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
between
had
him, Ben Simmons, when Ben Simmons was there, yeah, that team is always going through issues.
too many issues, man, and I feel like I miss the old days, when Allen Iverson were there. Those were like the good days of the 76ers.
Yeah, I remember in the '80s they were really good too. They were like one
Yeah,
of the few
they won, I think,
teams.
2 titles or 1 title during that time, but yeah,
Nah, they won one title in the '80s. That was in '83.
just 1. Okay. I don't know why I thought
But
they
they
won
were
2,
in the
but it was
mix.
only 1.
But they were in the mix. Like before, the Pistons were like the main team. The Celtics would have to play in the playoffs. It was the Sixers.
Mhm.
All right, but anyway, I think we've given them too much time, so let's
But
move
yeah,
on to the next topic. Yeah, and also on Raw, we had a Texas Tornado Rules match between the New Day and Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. But as the match was progressing, a mysterious man in a luchador mask came out to
yeah,
lay out Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee and interfered and ended up costing him the match.
yeah.
And some people are thinking that it's Chad Gable, and even Kathy Kelly grilled Chad Gable about this backstage afterwards. But
Dude showed up. The dude was behind Kathy Kelly and Chad Gable. So there's your proof right there. It wasn't him.
yeah, this is basically the Los Conquistadors and Mr. America angle all over again.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting storyline right there. But yeah, we'll see about that. New Day did get the win. Moving
Yeah.
forward, I noticed that I remember that you mentioned how they should get into the World Tag Team title hunt, and they should. So we'll see how that goes moving forward.
Yeah, whether they do them against the War Raiders at WrestleMania or they do like a multi-team match at WrestleMania, I think either way they should definitely be in that title picture. But damn, have they cooled off since that turn on Big E 3 months ago?
I mean, look, they've been pretty much getting the momentum now because they've been winning. That's what I wanted to see.
And they have
I
new gear and they have new theme music too. Yeah, I get that, but
that,
still.
but they need to like if they get in that tag team title hunt, I think that would do some justice. But it didn't start off the right way, Kurt, because I mean they weren't being taken seriously. You literally were getting talked down by the whole entire locker room. You even got stormed out of your own ring by one person, by Jey Uso. I will never forget that.
Oh
So
shit.
yeah, you literally it was two of you guys, and it was one person. You literally just let one person just diss you. And that's when I was starting to like, wait, am I going to take these guys seriously as heels? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at least they're winning, so
Yeah.
that's a plus, and they have like a different look compared to like the colorful outfits they were wearing before. So that's at least a
Oh,
step in the right direction. Hopefully, they can somehow heat up again sooner than later.
put him in the tag team title hunt. So
Yeah. And then Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, came out to cut a promo. And yo, damn, this dude wore two suits in the same night. Some Steve Harvey type shit.
Hey,
Yeah, because he was wearing a blue suit when I saw him outside of the garden earlier in the day, and then he was wearing a black suit looking like Ghost from Power when he came out on Raw.
hey, man, love the suits, man. Love the suit game. Come on now. So, but hey, shout out to the crowd. It felt like it was 2011 again. The "Let's Go Cody, Xena sucks" chant.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I did
Love
notice
that.
that. Yeah, they're kind of like giving Cena a mixed reaction, but they weren't like against Cody, but like they kind of like were half and half for Cena in a sense.
I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, but
They did the same thing. They did the same thing the following day on NXT in the same building, just in the theater. I'm surprised. I didn't know the theater was still open at MSG, but yeah, I saw a video. They're doing the same chant, and Cody wasn't even there, and they're chanting "Xena sucks." Let's go, Cody.
yeah, it's so crazy, man. Cody got Brock Lesnar to turn heel on him 2 years ago, The Rock to turn heel on him last year, and he got John Cena of all people to turn heel on him this year.
I don't know,
So
man. There's something.
if anybody doubts if Cody's that dude, if Cody's that like baby face of this era, those doubts are put to bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, interesting promo. This is actually the second promo that he cut on Xena. He did one on SmackDown, which was pretty interesting. And I loved how he ended it with, if you want some, come get some. I love that ending. Love that. Um, on Raw is pretty much the same thing. Pretty much, staying how I'm going to see you on Raw next week in Belgium, and I can't wait for that. It's gonna be very interesting, Kurt.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're finally gonna get to see these two people, these two men face
Face
each
to
other for the
face.
first time since what happened at
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber. And with it being an international crowd, you know what they're gonna be lit. And they're gonna be doing some crazy ass chants throughout it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Raw Monday, which actually starts at 3 in the afternoon, is gonna be
Yeah.
something to watch.
Yeah, that's gonna be yeah. Yeah, if Forgot about that. Yeah, that's ladies and gentlemen. Monday Night Raw will be starting 3 p.m. this time because they'll be in Belgium International.
Yeah, and it's gonna be starting at 3, 4 p.m. for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Shit, even on my birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was on Wade Keller's show on Monday night, and we were talking about it, and he was saying how what are people going to do with their Monday nights now that Raw's going to be coming on in the afternoon? And I just basically said, "Yo, this Monday St. Patrick's Day, they can go out and drink." That's what I'm going to be doing.
Right. Even if it started, well, I mean, even if it started at at the same time. I mean, you got to remember, Raw is only like what a 2.5 hour show, so they can still
Yeah,
have all the time to drink and all that. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I kind of want to go drink with Sheamus on St. Patrick's Day. That would be something I would want to do at some point in my life.
lucky you, because usually I do go out a lot on St. Patty's Day though, but it's on a Monday and I can't. I have to work that night. Bummer.
Oh shit! You could drink
Yeah,
after work.
maybe, maybe.
It's funny. It's funny. I haven't drank alcohol in 2.5 weeks.
Oh, good for you. Surprisingly, I actually did that one time not too long ago. I actually went like a couple of weeks without drinking. It wasn't any like a reason. I just randomly I just like didn't have the urge to do it. So, which is good. So,
Yeah, I usually do once a month a cleanse where I don't consume marijuana, drink alcohol, or eat any junk or processed food 1 week out of the month. And then I
mhm.
end up doing it this month for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, definitely very good. But it ends tonight because I'm going to be eating an edible very
But
soon after this recording.
I bet, I bet.
All right, but anyway, yeah, we're finally going to get to see Cody and Cena face to face next week. And I think one of the things that it could play into as far as the story goes is how Cody became the successor to John Cena. Like there was never really another John Cena,
Well, they were
pretty much
trying to
at the
do that
Rewind.
Roman Reigns. Yeah, that is true
Yeah,
though.
but Roman was not Cena. Roman was this whole different vibe. Just like CM Punk was a different vibe from Cena. Yeah, there was never like anybody who was like close to John Cena as far as capturing that vibe until Cody Rhodes came along.
True. That is true. And the one thing that I'm really interested in the next week is about we're gonna get the reason why Cena did what he did.
I think I know why he did it.
Ah, there's
He's
still
jealous.
something there's still something that I want to happen as we'll get later on as we're recapping Raw that I think will happen that needs to happen for the best of it. I literally
I think maybe
when I said this, Kurt, when I said this, dude, like I'm at work because somebody on Twitter talked about like I can't believe this is gonna happen. I was kind of like, no, really think about it. I think this is gonna happen, and the reaction, the responses I got from that one tweet, just it was boom, boom, boom. I was like, kind of like going back and forth with some people. I was like, I don't, that's not gonna happen, and some people are like, oh, I think that you have a point and all that. So yeah, that
yeah, I've
was
learned
something that I predicted that I got a lot of reactions on Twitter. It wasn't even funny, Kurt. A
Yeah, I've
lot.
learned the hard. Yeah, I've learned not to, go back and forth with certain people online because they just say some of the dumbest shit sometimes, and I just know that just continuing to
There
argue with
was
them to
some
try to make my
there
point across is just pointless.
there was some people. There was a couple of people who said certain things that just like did not make any sense. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what? And you're telling me what I'm talking about is like it's not even that serious. It's just a suggestion. And some of the stuff that they were saying is like, okay, you think my suggestion was funny? Just listen to yours was just like you literally completely like left field. Like, how is that gonna make any sense of what I'm saying? But anyway, I'll get into that later. But yeah, I can't wait for next week though.
I think John Cena probably turned on Cody because he's jealous that Cody still has a full head of hair,
Oh,
and also he
God.
wears nicer
Cena,
suits.
just get it. Just we're in the 21st century. They've been just get some just for men. They've been having that stuff out since the time I was born, or even before I was born. Come on, now it's not that hard. And you're in Hollywood too. Come on. You're in Hollywood. Come on now. I'm quite sure there's one person you could find in Hollywood easily that could, straighten out your bald situation, man. There's no offense though. It's easy. Come on now.
Or maybe he sold his soul to get like bigger opportunities in Hollywood because The Rock has it made in Hollywood compared to Cena does. So maybe he sold out to get that real
I mean,
money,
that's true.
get
That's
that real
true
rock
though.
money.
That's true though. But hey, but let's be fair. Xena does do better in a TV show. It's not saying The Rock hasn't, but you know, The Rock's only been in one TV show.
He's been in 2 TV shows.
What, Young Rock and what else?
Ballers.
Oh, Ballers. Oh yeah, I only watched a couple episodes of that. Yeah,
Ballers
that
was
is true.
to be honest, Ballers is better than most of his movies are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Miami version of Entourage. That's kind of the best way I could put it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that's another story. Let's get into what else happened on Raw, which saw a segment with Iyo Sky, Bianca Belair, and Rhea
Ooh,
Ripley.
yes. Pretty much it was the championship coronation for Iyo Sky, and then pretty much congratulating her for her win as she's going to WrestleMania to face Bianca Belair for that World's Women's Championship, and out come Bianca Belair, pretty much to just, hey, can't wait to meet you at WrestleMania. It's going to be a great match, and then out come Rhea Ripley, which to no surprise I knew that she was going to come out, and Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair get into it to the point where Iyo Sky's kind of like the third wheel in this segment. And then
Yeah,
Iyo Sky had to straighten them both out. She first slaps Rhea Ripley, then slaps Bianca Belair.
yeah, they were really disrespectful to her to the point where they were getting in each other's faces, and then
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley kind of pie faced Iyo Sky out of the way, and then Bianca pie faced Iyo Sky out of the way. So yeah, Iyo
See
Sky had no
that?
choice and to just slap both of them in the face and slap some sense into
Right.
them and say, "Yo, I'm the champion. Put some respect
Thank,
on my name. You're
thank
fighting for
you.
my spotlight."
Shoot. Iyo Sky did the damn right thing. Shoot.
Yeah, she was stomping up and down and everything, saying, "Yeah, don't be fucking with me that way. I'm the champ. You're not the
Thank
champ.
you.
You're not the
Thank
champ. It's
Yes.
me."
Thank you.
Yeah, what kind of
And it's
bullshit
very
is that?
look, it's very obvious that they're going to do a triple threat. I mean, I knew once Rhea Ripley lost the title, it's like you can't do Iyo Sky versus Bianca and leave out Rhea Ripley. That's just no way. Come
Hell
on,
no.
we could see that from a mile away. Like it was really funny how that whole situation came about. Like this all started like literally like a month ago because Iyo Sky was trying to compete or qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Rhea gets involved. Iyo Sky loses, and then Rhea Ripley takes it upon herself, like, "Look, I'm sorry, but I'll give you a title shot." And that backfires on Rhea Ripley because she ends up losing to Iyo Sky. So then it all comes down to this.
And yes, you saw like how upset she was after the match, saying "stupid,
Yeah.
stupid, stupid, stupid." And then that promo she did backstage afterwards, talking about like Bianca getting in her business and how she took her eye off the ball for 1 second and that cost her. And even when she came out on Raw Monday, she kept like still calling out Bianca, saying like what were you out there for? Like why were you interfering in my business? And Bianca's response basically was, "Are you trying to blame me for the fact that you can't beat Iyo on your own, so you need me as a scapegoat?" And
Mm.
yeah, Rhea was not having that.
Oh yeah, it was going to be a triple threat at WrestleMania.
Yeah, do you think Rhea is on the verge of turning heel from what you're seeing from her so far?
Um, I could see it. I tell you this: if Rhea Ripley doesn't win at WrestleMania, I could definitely see her turning heel.
Yeah, definitely. But it is
So
kind of risky to do that because of how popular she is. Even at the
I
Garden on Raw Monday, she got one of the biggest reactions of the night.
true though, but what difference would it make? Because guess what? She got huge reactions when she was a heel.
Yeah, maybe they see it that way. Maybe they think that she's better suited in that role. So maybe
Yeah,
that's like their way of like, going about it.
yeah,
But yeah, so far I'm liking the build to this match.
yeah. I haven't
Oh,
seen any. I haven't. I don't know. Maybe if I'm missing anything, but I haven't seen anything from Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair yet.
well, last Friday on SmackDown, like Charlotte attacked Tiffany after her match with Piper Niven. She hit her
Oh,
with a chop block and put her in the figure eight.
okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Out of all the women's storylines going into WrestleMania, that one so far feels the least interesting.
Yeah, and this was something that was announced almost a month ago, and I haven't. They haven't really did much. They haven't really did like a segment between each other now. I'm hopefully they
They've done a
do.
few. They've done a
Yeah,
few. They've done a couple, but yeah, it just hasn't really been anything like that spicy.
yeah, not compared to Rhea Ripley, Iyo Sky, and Bianca. Now this
Hell
one
no.
is just
Or even Naomi and Jade Cargill.
yeah, and that's not even for a title, huh?
Yeah, even that storyline feels like more interesting right now.
Right.
But the thing I'm thinking though, even though Bianca told Naomi that she's done with her, she's through with her, I do think that her involvement in the situation and her like attachment to the situation is not over, and there is a chance that could play into the outcome of the triple threat at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Very possible.
how the way things are looking right now, and I know it's kind of too early to say that. The fact that Iyo Sky has just is the new champion, I don't see her losing it anytime soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I see her winning this match if it were to
I
happen.
I don't.
Really?
She's great. I'm really happy that she's in this spot this year in one of the marquee matches for the second straight year with that. But this definitely feels like kind of like Carmella when she went into that triple threat with Charlotte and Becky Lynch at SummerSlam all those years ago. Like going into that match, I knew there was no way Carmella leaves with the title. And as great as Iyo Sky is, and as happy as I am for her to be in this match, I feel the same way about her here.
I don't know, man. It's because of the way I've been seeing Rhea Ripley act, and then also you mentioned how Bianca is not really out of that Naomi and Jade Cargill situation. That's why. You know what I mean?
But maybe there's a chance that maybe Naomi, to make good, helps Bianca win.
Make good.
To like kind of like I guess get Bianca to forgive her or like show her like yo I'm
No,
still on your side.
no, no, no.
It could
I
happen, bro.
oh
Stranger things have happened before.
be on your good side. No, after what she did to her, no. I
Because she said she did it for Bianca, so
oh, and
or
Bianca
she could
wasn't
screw
having
her,
it.
or she
Bianca
could
wasn't
screw her
having
like
it.
yeah, Bianca wasn't having it, but who
No,
knows if she wins, makes her helps to win the championship, maybe she'll have a change of heart.
I I don't know.
I'm
We
just
have to
playing.
wait
I'm
and
just playing.
see. I know we just have to wait and
Yeah,
see.
but I will say, but a lot what we think we were talking about on Wade Keller's show on Monday is that they like the presentation of Bianca now, where like she's kind of like more of a serious baby face, where she's not like doing the twirl around, not doing the skip to the ring, because like she's
Yeah,
going through some heavy shit right now. Like her best
yeah.
friend situation fell apart, and now she's in a serious feud for the title heading into WrestleMania. So like now she's
hmm
all business and none of that
This is I think out of all
other stuff.
the title, I think of all the especially going to WrestleMania, right? I think of all the title matches, storylines that she went into, I think this is the most serious one of them all.
Feels like it so far. The one with Becky at 38 was also a big deal too.
Yeah, but this one, she just like way more serious now compared to the others.
Yeah, I definitely can feel that vibe.
Yeah,
But one of the highlights of Raw, honestly, the highlight of Raw was the main events.
that's right, ladies and gentlemen, and it's the perfect place to have this match because boy, I've I've lost track because there's been a history of great steel cage matches in that building.
Yes, and they were showing highlights of them the whole night, including the Superfly Jimmy Snuka and Don Morocco one from 1983, a great cage match between Macho Man Randy Savage and the Million Dollar Man from 1988, and also another one they didn't show but was also a good one, the Hulk Hogan and Big Boss Man cage match from 1989, which is funny. They did that match at the Garden in the afternoon, and they did that same match that night at the Boston Garden.
Damn.
Holy shit, man. Two cage matches in one day?
And not only that, the distance from New York to Boston, my God. Woo.
I mean, it's not that far, but
I know it's
still,
not that far though, but still though, you have to travel to another city and you're all banged up, bruised up from the first match, and now you got to do the same match in a different city. Woo.
and they did that superplex from the top of the cage spot in that match too.
Oh wow.
Well, in the Garden they did that, not in the Boston Garden, because
Oh
for
thank
some
God.
reason the Boston Garden cage was like kind of like the fence cage that they use now, but the
Mm.
Madison Square Garden match was like the blue bar cage.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but
Uh,
anyway, yes, I will say this cage match was in my opinion, the best steel cage match I've seen in WWE since the Bret Hart and Owen Hart cage match from SummerSlam '94.
I've seen a lot of interesting cage matches, and this is one of the best. I've seen on Raw. Let's not forget Chris Jericho versus Christian back from 2004. That was a good cage match.
Oh yeah, they've had some great cage matches over the year. Even the Rikishi and Val Venus one from Fully Loaded 2000 when he jumped off of the cage was also dope. But
Yeah.
I have to say, this cage match that we saw between Punk and Rollins, top notch, son.
Oh
Top
yeah,
notch.
back and forth and just raw emotion. Even when Punk got into the ring, as soon as he got into the ring, they went at it.
Yeah.
Loved how they were both flipping each other off. I love that spot where CM Punk flips. He flips off Seth Rollins and he does the iconic elbow drop. I love that.
He did it 3 times. He did it 3 times, circa Macho Man at WrestleMania 7.
Yeah. I thought it was.
What were you saying?
Seth was being a douche earlier. He pretty much had the door open and telling him, "Oh, come on, CM Punk, go ahead and leave if you want." I'm like, wow. Well, CM Punk did the same thing later, though, but still, though, it's that raw emotion in that match that I liked about it.
Yeah, they were kicking out of each other's finishes. Like Punk was kicking out of the GTS. Punk kicked out of the curb stop. Rollins was kicking out of the GTS.
Yeah. That was the most surprising. I was like, oh my God, Punk did a curb stomp. I was like, damn. And then later on, Seth Rollins did a GTS to CM Punk. I'm like, damn.
And another flashback from the Bret and Owen cage match. Rollins did a superplex from the top of the cage to Punk. Holy shit.
Ooh, they both felt that.
I heard taking that spot, even from the top rope, is like getting into a car crash at 30 miles an hour.
Really?
So imagine that shit from the top of the cage.
Wow.
Fuck.
Ooh.
Yeah, Punk looked like he was having a rough time after that spot.
Oh,
Makes sense.
I bet. I love also my other favorite spot is when so earlier Seth Rollins did a buckle bomb to CM Punk onto the steel cage. But as he was trying to do it the second time, CM Punk did a Hurricanrana counter.
Nice.
And then Seth his face hits the cage. I love that spot. So yeah, a great match. And then since they're in the garden, I knew something was going to happen. I was just waiting for that spot to happen. And it happened as Seth Rollins did his final curb stomp from the top rope. Seth Rollins is like literally like barely like outside of the cage, and then out of nowhere, you could hear the roar of the crowd.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns literally just comes out from behind, just grabs Seth Rollins out from his neck and just pulls him out of the ring. And then Seth Rollins is the winner. But Roman Reigns did not care about that. He was there to take out Seth Rollins, and he did. Literally beats the hell out of him outside of the ring, spears him, and he himself did a curb stomp to Seth Rollins, and he was about to do a curb stomp to Seth Rollins on the steel steps, just like Seth Rollins did to him at the Royal Rumble. But as he was about to do that, he gets stopped by the Raw GM and all the other security guards.
The party fouls, yeah, they interrupted it again.
And as all this is happening, Kurt, right? And the cameraman did a good job on this. All this chaos is happening outside the ring. Paul Heyman's in the ring with CM Punk, helping him up, talking to him about God knows what, which is the biggest question. One of the questions and answers that needs to be solved, especially going into next week. And as Roman Reigns sees this, he's kind of like, what the hell is this? And he goes in the ring, and then he attacks CM Punk and then spears him. And that was the end of the show. And one hell of a match, but what a hell of a cliffhanger to end.
Yeah, this was great. The match was incredible. And then just Roman returning and accidentally helping Rollins win the match was also a great spot. Yeah, just the way he choked him out and like pulled him out of the cage. It reminded me of what Ving Rhames did to Tyrese and Baby Boy.
Yeah. It just came out of nowhere.
Jody. Yeah, but then Roman sees Heyman helping up Punk, and he's not having
talking
it
to him.
He's a jealous ass dude, so he just jumps into the cage and then beats the hell out of Punk. And yeah, this is definitely setting up for that triple threat that we were hearing they might possibly do for WrestleMania, and it looks like we're getting it. Punk,
We're get
Rollins, and Roman.
for night one, which means yes, Jey Uso and Gunther sadly will not be the main event. So this is what I wanted to mention. What I was talking about earlier. Now, a while ago, we were both against the idea of a triple threat. Now, it's most likely they're going to do this triple threat, but they need to have a stipulation, and it goes back to what happened between Paul Heyman and CM Punk, because what was Paul Heyman saying to CM Punk in the ring? And you got to remember the favor that CM Punk has from Paul Heyman.
I know what Heyman was saying to Punk. I know what he was saying.
What I predicted, Kurt, you have to have some type of stipulation in this match. You can't just have three people just going at it for what? Like for what? What? Because animosity? No. What's the prize? What are they going for? I think that they should go at it for number one contenderships to determine who will be in the main event for night two with Cody Rhodes and John Cena. I think I think one of the favors that Punk has from Paul Heyman is for him to get a title shot at WrestleMania.
I think if that does happen, I don't mind it personally. And
no, I don't. I love it. And this is foreshadowing. This is going back for months. This is going back all way back when Punk first, returned to the WWE. His whole intentions from day one, Kurt, even, after his feud with Drew McIntyre, his whole intentions, Kurt, was to like main event WrestleMania. Now I have these favors from Paul Heyman. I had two opportunities to be in the main event. I didn't get it done. Right? And it's like, I didn't get this done. Now I have this favor from Heyman. What are the favors?
I wasn't really sold on this idea at first when I first heard the rumors that they were going to do this match. But from what we saw on Raw Monday, I am in. Yo, I cannot wait to see how this story plays out over the next month, bro.
I just hope.
I think that what Heyman was telling the Punk, like when he was consoling him in the ring, I think what Heyman was telling him was like, bro, you should have just walked out of the cage when you had the chance. You had the match won, but you fucked up.
True.
Or maybe he was saying, yo, because of the fact that you're so banged up, does this mean we're not going to dinner after the show anymore?
Oh God.
Nah, but yeah, I would hope that they add some kind of like stipulation to this match because
you can't do that. You can't do those kind of matches.
Yeah, because a three-way with like no real prize or no real stakes, yeah, that is kind of
doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Regardless of how much the star power is between the three of these guys, yeah, they need to add something more to it than just
you have to. And there's some people on Twitter talking about there doesn't need to be a caveat. Like, you don't get the booking of wrestling, my friend. You don't do that in non-one-on-one matches. You don't do that. Whenever you have, I said this a long time ago, whenever you have these kind of matches, there's like a three-way or fatal four-way or whatever, right? If there's no caveat, right? If there's no title on the line or like a number one contendership, it doesn't make any sense to have those matches. It's like, what are you fighting for?
Bragging rights.
Exactly. That's literally, oh yeah, I was in a main event at WrestleMania and I beat two guys with nothing at stake. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but this story with these three is going to be dope. Yeah, just from what we saw on Raw Monday, yeah, this is definitely going to be some spicy ass TV in the next month. And people were complaining and shitting on the build to WrestleMania this year not being interesting, not being important. But now it is definitely interesting.
I told you, trust the process.
Yeah, you got to be patient. Yeah, because WrestleMania has been like, what, a 3-month gap between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, give or take. Yeah, you got to let this shit play out.
Yeah, trust the process.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's what I see happening. I above all else, I really see CM Punk just for some reason finding a way to be in the actual main event of WrestleMania. I really see him kind of like getting his foot in the door between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Because remember, people forget that literally before this match last week, Kurt, but no, this past Monday, he literally just cut off a frustrationist promo calling out John Cena and The Rock, literally like a week ago. So, and you got to remember, people forget, like, I had to tell this person on Twitter, like, you forget what was his intentions from the get-go for months, foreshadowing, main event WrestleMania, title shot. That's what he wanted. That's all he's been talking about.
And there's a chance that he could get it, but only time will tell, and we will see how this story plays
I'm
out.
just so
But
curious
yeah,
what that favor is. So, like I said, this is very similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin back in 2001 about his obsession of, winning the championship at WrestleMania. And like, he literally just did all he can to do it. We literally turned heel and sold his soul to Vince McMahon to do it. So,
I mean, I don't think Punk is gonna sell his soul in this case because John Cena already did that. I was, if anybody's gonna turn heel, let me finish. If anybody's gonna turn heel in this scenario, it has to be Seth Rollins.
Seth will definitely turn heel though. But as far as you saying you don't know if Punk will, you may never know.
I just feel like the John Cena heel turn was just too big of a deal and got too much attention that I can't like really see anybody else on that same level turning heel literally right after him. So, like I said, if anybody ends up turning heel, it would make the most sense if Seth Rollins turns heel, especially after that crap he pulled at Elimination Chamber and on his whole obsession with Punk and
Yeah.
basically like losing sleep over Punk and always mentioning Punk at every turn. It's like, yeah, how could this dude not turn heel? It's
I
like,
mean, he
damn, bro,
should.
what did Punk like break your heart or something?
But I hope Seth Rollins will be in a better mood now, though, because the Chicago Bears have been making some decent moves during this offseason. So,
Yeah, hopefully, and possibly his
oh
wife's coming
man,
back soon too.
oh yeah,
Yes, but that was Monday Night Raw this past Monday from the Garden. The two highlights of the show, honestly, were yes, the main event and the angle they pulled afterwards, and also that segment with Bianca, Rhea, Ripley, and Iyo Sky. That was the two highlights of the whole show.
yes,
Yes, but this past Friday, we found out who the next inductee will be for this year's WWE Hall of Fame. And it was broken with a video in which Cody Rhodes went to go visit Lex Luger and DDP as DDP was doing therapy with Lex Luger, like trying to help him learn how to walk again. And Cody Rhodes officially told Lex Luger that he will be going into this year's Hall of Fame.
congratulations to him. He well deserved. I'm very happy for him.
Me too.
Yeah, guy's been through a lot physically, health wise. Um, I really like Lex Luger a lot, especially during this time of WCW. Um, I think it's funny when they mention that they show that highlight clip when he won the WCW title against Hulk Hogan on Nitro.
Yeah, 97. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
crazy.
that's like, honestly, that's my favorite Lex Luger moment.
Yeah, it
Um,
doesn't get any better than that. He beat Hulk Hogan for the
yeah,
championship. After Hogan was like on that hot run with the NWO, he was like the first person to really beat him. Yeah, that
yeah,
was crazy, bro.
yeah. Favorite moment from him. But
And ironically enough, it happened in the exact same arena where SummerSlam 93 was, where he didn't beat Yokozuna.
okay.
Exact same place.
Wow. Wow.
And as far as WWE goes, that was his biggest moment, honestly, was when he body slammed Yokozuna. That was as big as he got
Oh
for him
yeah.
there.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, but he had a great career though, from like his time in the Four Horsemen. He was a great U.S. champion in WCW, like during that late '80s period. He had a great run
Mm,
there. He was a
mm,
WCW champion like in '91, like when Flair left, he like won the title.
mm.
Yeah, and then obviously he went to WWE. He was a narcissist character for a while, but then after he body slammed Yokozuna, he basically became like the modern version of Hogan in a sense, like Hogan 2.0. But like that
Yeah.
didn't really work. They did the whole Lex Express thing, and that kind of was a whole thing in itself.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't win the title at WrestleMania 10, it was obvious that he wasn't going to get it.
No, I mean it was cool that he was in that title picture. I like the whole
Yeah.
the thing where him and Brett were like both eliminated from the Royal Rumble at the same time, so they both got a title shot at WrestleMania. But
Yeah, that was a great Royal Rumble finish. That was one of the better ones they've done.
yeah, but yeah, moving forward, like, and then they did he was a tag team with British Bulldog for a little bit at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Right?
his
He was a part of one of the major moments in the Monday Night Wars when he showed up on the very first episode of Nitro.
yeah, yes, yep. He was that first
After,
person to make that big splash transition. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, he literally wrestled for WWE the night before, and he made a handshake agreement with WWE to stay. And then the next night, he shows up on Nitro.
Yeah.
Madness,
Yep.
madness. I remember those early episodes of Nitro like it was yesterday, and yeah, he was a major part of it.
Mm.
And then yeah, he had one of the best finishers ever in the history of wrestling, the damn torture rack.
Yep.
Yeah, there was
Also,
no getting
they
out of that. And Dusty Rhodes apparently was the one who gave him the idea for that move. He gave him the idea for that
really.
move, and he also gave him the name, the Total Package.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, Dusty Rhodes, man, dude was a genius.
Mm. I heard they're saying that Sting should induct him.
Yeah, either Sting or DDP, one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully Sting does get to induct him. That'd be great. Obviously, Sting was his best friend, and
Mhm.
it's funny. Luger was on Chris Van Vliet 2 weeks ago. I was listening to that episode, and he talked about the fact that he was kind of mad at Sting when Sting became a born again Christian because back then, like, he really liked to party, he really liked to go out and do all that crazy stuff, and then like Sting didn't want to do
Oh.
that stuff anymore.
Oh, okay.
So like he mentioned, like initially back then he was mad at him, but then obviously when he became a born again Christian, he kind of saw it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, had that great moment on Nitro when he beat Hogan for the title. I mean, the title really only lasted a few days, but just the fact that he got to have that moment, yo, that shit was legendary.
Yeah. And this was in '97 too. Oh yeah, that meant a
Yeah,
lot.
'97. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was hot at that time. Like in that '97 period, like other than Sting and also DDP, yeah, he was one of the hottest dudes in WCW during that period.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had that great theme song, the great finish. Yeah, he was the total package.
He was. They announced, so congratulations to him making a Hall of Fame. And speaking of the Hall of Fame, it was announced that this year's Hall of Fame will take place at the Fontainebleau Hotel.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. They're not going to have it at the same arena as SmackDown. They're going to have it there.
Fontainebleau is one of the newest hotels that they just built on the Strip in Vegas.
Oh, cool.
I haven't been there though, but I've seen videos and pictures of it. It's very nice, Kurt. Very nice hotel.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah.
And also another rumored tag team to go into the Hall of Fame is Earthquake and Typhoon, the natural disasters.
Yes. Congratulations to them. Well deserved. Yeah, very good tag team during that late '80s, during the '80s and early
Well,
'90s.
nah, they were '90s. They weren't around in the '80s, really.
No, okay, okay.
Nah. Earthquake debuted at the end of '89, but they didn't become a tag team until '91.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were initially feuding because like when Hogan was feuding with Earthquake, Typhoon was Tugboat at the time, and he was backing Hogan up.
Mm-hmm.
But then they had like a 6-man tag once where it was Tugboat and the Bushwhackers against Earthquake and the Nasty Boys, and then Tugboat turned on the Bushwhackers, and then he aligned himself with Earthquake, and then they became the Natural Disasters.
Okay.
That was one of the biggest tag teams in wrestling history.
Oh, please, you're not kidding.
Shit.
You're not kidding. Come on.
I would say, yeah, other than the Twin Towers, that's probably one of the biggest tag teams in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
And they did have a run with the tag team titles. They beat Money Inc. for the titles in '92. They went into SummerSlam '92 as the tag team champions. They got a hot reaction, actually, at that SummerSlam when you go back and watch it.
'92?
Yeah, '92.
Mm.
Yeah, they were a fun team. I remember them very vividly from my early years of watching wrestling. And yeah, it's unfortunate that Earthquake won't be alive to accept the induction, but I'm happy that he is getting this honor. It's also Typhoon.
Good for them. Good for them.
And for better or worse, one of the things Typhoon is remembered most for is the Shockmaster incident.
Oh, I know. WCW?
Yeah, when they had that big reveal
Oh,
for him for his debut, and then he
and he
fell through
went
the
through the
door.
wall. Oh, the wall.
Oh shit, that
Yeah.
was so. It was so bad and so funny at the same time. The dude falls through the wall and his mask falls off. Holy shit!
You know, it's funny how we clown about how WCW was during, that that late 90s period going to the 2000s, but like we forget about how silly the stuff they were doing during the early 90s.
Oh yeah, early '90s WCW was cringe with a capital C.
God, like I think one of the most cringiest stuff I saw was when they had RoboCop on there. I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
what?
bro. If you think WWE was bad, like in that mid '90s period, like '93 ish, imagine how bad WCW was.
Oh my god! Like I understand. Maybe I think the third RoboCop or second one was coming out at that time.
It
I
was the
know
second
they're
one.
like,
It was
oh,
'90, so it would have been the second RoboCop.
okay. I understand it like doing it to promote it, but that was just over the top promotion right there. I was just like, dude, seriously, like that
Big
is,
time, big
oh
time.
wow.
Yeah, but the less we say about that, the better. But
Yeah.
congratulations to Earthquake and Typhoon. Typhoon is actually Cody Rhodes' uncle.
Oh wow.
Yeah, or and
Interesting.
Cody's Ward's Uncle Fred.
Okay.
Yeah, so congratulations to them, and also congratulations to Lana and Miro, who it came out yesterday that they renewed their wedding vows and they're back together.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, what was that? Okay, well, good for them. Okay.
Very good for
Not
them.
all.
Good shit.
So certain breakups, certain relationships that are broken tend to, you know, come back together. Some, and
Yeah,
there's some that happen that are not meant to come back. J Lo, Ben Affleck. But that's a different story. But yeah, but,
yeah, but
different story. But no, I'm happy for the both of them. For
me too. Like sometimes, like you kind of maybe need that break from each other and need to see that
yeah,
time like away from each other to see like what life is like without each other. And in
true,
some
true.
cases, you find your way back to each other. And in this case, that did happen.
That
It
is
happened
very
here.
true. Yes,
Yeah,
very
and
true.
also that happened with Jake the Snake Roberts and his wife Cheryl. They just got back together a few years ago too.
Oh, okay, that's good for them.
Yeah, after they've been broken up for decades.
Oh, wow.
But I would say one, as far as a TV example, the one couple that I saw break up and get back together so many damn times was Corey and Topanga.
Huh.
I think they literally broke up and got back together 5 times throughout that whole show.
Good heavens.
There was even one episode where they like just got back together the episode before. Then the episode later, they broke up in the middle of the episode and got back together at the end of the episode.
Jeez.
Madness, son. Oh, I heard they're going to be doing Pod Meets World in Vegas during WrestleMania week.
Are you serious? There's gonna be two. Oh my god,
Yeah.
there's gonna be so much going on in this city during WrestleMania week.
They got to do like a WrestleMania episode, yeah, for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it
So
was
much.
cool, man. I went to that show last year in Atlanta. Yeah, it was fun, man. I would definitely take a girl there for that kind
Interesting.
of vibe.
Nice.
Yeah, and with John Cena's recent heel turn that took place at Elimination Chamber, there was recently a list from WWE ranking the 30 best heel turns of all time, and
Hmm.
this is how they ranked them. Number 30, Kevin Owens turning on Sami Zayn. I'm not sure which time, but that's number 30.
It's probably NXT, maybe.
Yeah, that one was very well done. When it was the takeover when Sami Zayn won the title, and then Kevin Owens came out to celebrate with them, and they had the copyright box on the screen, and you thought the show was over, and then lo and behold, Kevin Owens turns on Sami Zayn and just
Wow.
beats the shit out of him. Yeah, that was madness, bro. That was the beginning of the Kevin Owens we know and love, and also hate today.
Hmm.
Number 29, Shinsuke Nakamura turning on AJ Styles at WrestleMania 34.
Huh.
Yeah, it was cool that night, but unfortunately, it didn't really lead to anything else.
It was one of those matches where I was looking forward to, but I got disappointed.
Yeah, Nakamura just basically became the low blow king for a hot minute after that period.
Man.
It is what it is. 2018 WWE is kind of a time frame I like to forget sometimes.
Wait a minute. I was better than 2019. I know that for damn sure.
That's not saying much. That is not saying much.
Still, the Mania was a little bit better than the Mania afterwards, but I don't know. Like a part of me kind of wants to like go back and watch that one.
Hey,
Because it
I'll
was
say
like,
this: WrestleMania 34 had a hot start. The first like hour
yeah,
and a half or so
yeah,
of it
yeah.
was great,
Yeah,
but damn, does it fall off a cliff after that?
yeah. I know that's why I wish. I think that was the one where I wish, like, man, if they could have did that 2 night slot like how they do now for that one, it would have been a decent one though. But hey, different story.
Yeah, yeah, that and if they didn't shove Brock and Roman Reigns down our throats like they were doing at the time.
Oh Lord, yeah.
All right, but moving on. Number 28, I remember this one very well because this is when I first started watching wrestling. Tatanka sells out.
Oh, when he turned heel at SummerSlam.
Yeah, when he was accusing Lex Luger all summer of selling out to the $1 Million Man, and then lo and behold, it was him who was selling out to the $1 Million Man the whole damn time.
That was funny. Gorilla Monsoon told him you're a disgrace to Native Americans. I was laughing so hard when I heard that. Oh,
Mad.
that was funny.
Yeah, that was a good heel turn though. That
It
was
was. It
well
was.
done.
Came out of nowhere.
Number 27, Finn Balor attacks Johnny Gargano.
Uh huh.
Number 26, Bailey attacks Becky Lynch. That was from 2019.
Huh. Wow.
I remember that. Yeah, I was on Raw. Yeah, like right after SummerSlam.
That was something that that Bailey needed to do.
The heel turn wasn't official until that SmackDown when she came out and like destroyed like the Bailey balloon animals or like the balloon things,
Yeah.
and then cut the promo on the audience. I was there for
Yeah.
that show actually.
Now I remember that. That was that was something that needed to happen for her character change and kind of like shed that innocence off of her. So yeah, that was a good one. I remember that.
Yeah, paid off well for her. She had that long ass reign as SmackDown Women's Champion during that
Yeah.
period.
Yep.
Oh, number 25. This is a good one. Mark Henry fake retires to turn on John Cena.
Oh,
Oh, that was great.
I'm retiring. That's it. You know, thank you. And he's crying and he's holding the belt and boom, he slams John Cena out of nowhere. Yep.
Yeah, the Salmon sweater speech.
Yep.
Salmon blazer, I'm sorry.
Yep. That's yep.
Yo, but he sold the shit out of that whole retirement
Oh, he
speech. He was
did.
crying. He was
Yeah.
crying. He was talking about like how his daughter cries when he leaves for his road trips and how like he's coming home to his family, and then he fucking turns on John Cena at the end of it.
Yep.
That's probably the best thing Mark Henry probably ever did in his career, in my opinion. That was my favorite thing he ever did,
I agree.
even more than the Mae Young stuff.
Oh, come on now. We can't come on. That crap was funny. Come on now. And you have
Okay.
D'Lo Brown as your chauffeur. Come on. That crap was funny.
Oh, when he was sexual chocolate when he went out with
Oh
China.
yeah. Can't forget about that.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that theme music, that sexual chocolate theme
Hell yeah,
music was
that's some
classic.
Barry White stuff, man. Come
Yeah, it
on.
was. It's sexual, baby. All right, but moving on. Number 24, Lita betrays Kane to join Edge.
Oh, I could saw that coming from a mile away. That was like that that was an interesting one. Yeah.
They were basically doing what happened in real life with the whole Matt Hardy and Edge stuff
Yeah.
with Kane at the time, but this is like obviously before Matt Hardy came back. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're
Yeah.
basically doing it that way.
Yeah.
Number 23, Sami Zayn saves Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell. Oh yeah, I remember that one. The one with Shane McMahon when Shane McMahon was going to do the elbow drop to Owens off the top of the cell, but then Sami Zayn moved Kevin Owens out of the way.
Oh, what year was
Yeah,
this?
2017.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was a pretty good heel turn. Yeah, Sami Zayn was a heel for like a good 5 years after that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
madness. But he did well with it.
Hmm.
Number 22, Ric Flair turns on Sting. Which time, though? He turned on him twice.
Yeah, because at one point Sting joined the Four Horsemen and they turned on him. Maybe. Yeah.
They're probably referring to that one, but the one I'm maybe thinking about is in '95 when Ric Flair was begging Sting to be his partner to go against Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman. And then when they were about to have the match, like Ric Flair like got attacked backstage by them before the match, and then in the middle of the match, Ric Flair showed up to be in Sting's corner to tag in, like in his like dress pants and everything. And then right when he tags into the match, he turns on Sting.
Wow.
And
That's funny.
And that's when they formed the newer version of the Horsemen with like Flair, Anderson, Pillman, and also Benoit.
Hmm.
Yeah, remember that shit. Good times. Well, that part of WCW at the time was at least good.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Number 21, Tommaso Ciampa turns on Johnny Gargano. That was a
Hmm.
good one. Oh,
Hmm.
yes. That led to one of their best feuds in NXT history. Number 20, Matt Hardy turns on Jeff Hardy.
Oh yes, and I know a lot of big time Jeff Hardy fans were heartbroken from that. So
Yeah, that was supposed to be Christian, apparently, who was going to be in that spot, but
yeah, I
apparently
heard about that.
leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it got leaked, so Vince McMahon changed it to Matt Hardy.
Hmm.
I mean, I wasn't watching at the time,
I
but
was.
say what you want about the feud that followed, but that moment, I'm sure, was probably interesting and shocking for many fans.
Yeah, it was. Especially if you're a big time Jeff Hardy fan, a lot of those fans were like really just heartbroken from that though. But it was just a crazy turn of events. I know that for a fact. So
Very crazy turn of events. And moving
yeah.
on, number 19, CM Punk attacks The Rock on Raw 1000.
Oh yes.
Oh
Oh
man,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
was so good. That was so good.
How the way it came out of nowhere, dude. The Rock gets into involved, and this is where CM Punk is like, truthfully, is like, I'm being disrespected. I've been the WWE champion for this long, and I'm just still kind of like being shelved. And okay, The Rock is here, but it's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was. And
It
it was
was
weird. That was a weird one because, like, when he did that, this was before SummerSlam, right?
yeah.
And they didn't really like say that, oh, he's a heel yet. Even in SummerSlam, I didn't really see him as like a heel. Not, and then when I remember he had that segment with JR and all that. That's when I was like, okay, yeah, that
Oh, Jerry Lawler. It's when we attacked
Terry
Jerry
yeah,
Lawler. When he
that's when I
attacked
was like,
Jerry
oh,
Lawler, that's when it
yeah.
was
And then when I saw him with
officially real.
Heyman, that's when I was like, okay, he really really turned now. But yeah, that was we could say him attacking The Rock. That was kind of like
Start of it.
the start of it. Yeah, really the start of it. I remember that clear as day. Can't believe that was. Felt like it was yesterday, man. Wow.
Yeah, that remember like it was yesterday too. Yeah, he the Rock was about to do the People's Elbow, the Big Show, and then
Yeah.
Punk just clotheslines him and hits him with the GTS,
Yep.
and yeah, it was a wrap.
Yeah, and I remember that was the night where The Rock announced that he was going to face the champion at the Royal Rumble the following year.
Yeah, that was the start to the build for that.
Yeah, and also sadly, this was because it was the 1000th episode, but it was a 3 hour show, and that's when they announced that from then on, every episode was going to be 3 hours. Unfortunately,
Yeah, but it's
bad
a lot
mistake.
better now, though. Yeah, it's a lot better
Yeah,
now with
bad
only two
bad
and a
bad
half
mistake.
hours.
Bad mistake. You do 3 hour shows for special occasions like that, but not for every episode. My God.
Yeah, but
Woo,
regardless, still a great heel
woo.
turn. It's
Yeah.
funny. I saw the Rock at the gym the next day. Actually, yeah, it was
Yeah.
working out extra hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that definitely a well done heel turn. I know Punk didn't want to do it because it like ate into his merchandise money, but it is what it is.
Oh, that dude was still selling merch, even when he was a heel. I remember, I remember all of his merchandise, and I remember when he was heel, it looked like I saw like a dozen of fans in one section wearing like his CM Punk merchandise. So nah, he was good, man. He was good.
Nah, but I get it though because he was definitely a hot baby face after the whole pipe bomb and everything. And
Yeah,
yeah, for him to turn heel, it was a bit of a bummer. I'm not gonna lie.
it was. I was like, fuck. I was like, damn it. And I was kind of like, damn it, I like you, but it's like, why are you a heel? But I was like, I still like you.
Yeah, it was mixed. Like the heel
Oh
turn was well
man,
done. The heel
hell
turn was
yeah.
well done, but you were kind of bummed that he was turning.
True though, but then when Heyman came in, I was like, you know what? I kind of do feel a little bit better a little bit. So, yeah, I look back at it like, hey, greatly though. But at that time, I was kind of like, damn it, like,
Yeah, man.
okay.
All right, moving on. Number 18, Scott Steiner joins the NWO.
Hmm. He
Yeah, I
was
remember
just
that.
recently on Chris Van Fleet.
Yeah, who did not have such nice things to say about Hulk Hogan.
No,
Surprise,
no, no,
surprise.
no, not surprised. No, no.
Yeah, but it's funny. He says those things about Hogan being racist when his brother has been kind of known for saying some questionable
Oh,
things too.
oh,
There was a clip that I saw yesterday from a few years ago where Rick Steiner was basically saying the only reason why Booker T was the WCW champion was because like he protested to the NAACP or he politicked and like they only gave it to him because he was black, like basically saying that.
oh, whoa, wow.
And
Well,
I'm sure you heard about that incident at a convention a few years ago where he like openly started talking shit to this transphobic wrestler, like calling that person a whole bunch of names.
mm,
I think there's footage of that too. I think there's actually
mm,
footage of what he said.
wow.
Yeah, not a good look, but that's another story. But yeah, when Scott Steiner turned on his brother and joined the NWO and then became Big Papa Pump, yeah, that shit was a big deal at the time it happened.
You know what? I would like to see Braun Breaker at WrestleMania wear the chain link
That's what I
thing.
mentioned a few weeks ago. Yeah, I mentioned
That would be
that.
so dope if he wears that at WrestleMania. Oh, that would be so badass.
Yeah, that would be dope. And it's funny, I think Scott Steiner supposedly was the first person to ever do the 450 splash.
Really?
Yeah, there's actually footage of it. Yeah, from like 87.
Hmm. It's very funny. Just real quick before you move forward, it was very interesting that Chris Van Fleet thought like you got more ripped and buff when you went to WWE, and he said like no, I actually trimmed down. He was more
Yeah, because they
bulky.
were,
He was
yeah,
more
because,
bulkier during his first run, but when he came back, all he did was just like he just trimmed down, and he just got more cut. But you could definitely tell he looked completely different then versus during his first run. I was like, you know what? I was like, he's right. He did cut up a little bit. He looks more trimmed and cut versus his first run. First run, he was like way more bulkier,
in
you
his
know.
first WWE run, they were drug testing.
Yeah, I know though, but like same time though, he cut. Lean and cut is a big difference than bulkier. So
Yeah, it's a shame that like they were a great team, but it's a shame that they were in WWE like during a downtime for them.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 93. Yeah, it was definitely the dog days.
Yeah, 92, 93. Yeah.
Nah, well, 92 was still pretty good, but 93 is shit. 93 is trash.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, that's another story. Number 17, I know you're going to love this one. Trish Stratus turns on Chris Jericho.
Oh God, that pissed me off. Oh jeez, I was angry.
I don't blame you for being
Oh,
angry.
huh?
I don't blame you
Huh?
for being angry.
Oh my God. The fact like it went to like, oh, I accidentally hit you, Chris, and then Christian, beats up Chris Jericho more. Then down the ramp, then it turns like, oh, he's making out with Christian. I was like, what the hell is this crap?
Yeah, madness, bro.
Damn. Oh, I was pissed.
Yeah, and it's funny they didn't find out that that was going to be going down until that day.
Yeah. Ooh.
Crazy Trish turned babyface at WrestleMania and turned heel at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Only other person to do that was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm.
Oh, Bret Hart too. My bad, Bret Hart.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Number 16, Eddie Guerrero turns on Rey Mysterio.
No, that I saw that from a mile away.
Everybody saw it from a mile away. Eddie Guerrero was losing his mind because he was losing to Rey Mysterio so much, and he
Mm-hmm.
just couldn't take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that beating he gave him on that one SmackDown when he suplexed him on the
Jeez.
steps, yeah, that
Yeah.
was brutal, son.
That very brutal.
Number 15, they should be ranked a lot higher, but it's number 15. The Mega Powers explode.
Oh. And I know we've went on and on about this though, but that was a very good heel turn and just yeah.
Yeah, one of the best heel turns, one of the best angles WWE ever did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Savage had his rights to be angry, but just the way he went about it and how he just snapped, yeah, it was ugly, son. It was ugly.
Mm-hmm. Very.
Yeah, people like to think that, Hogan was the real heel in that scenario, and he did do some sketchy shit during that time, I will admit. But the fact that Savage like shoved down Elizabeth as she was trying to stop him from attacking Hogan, yo, that's some heel shit.
Yep.
Major league heel shit.
Mm-hmm.
A great angle nonetheless. So let's move on. Number 14, Bob Backlund snaps on Bret Hart.
Was it 94?
94, yeah, because Bret Hart and Bob Backlund had a match on Superstars that Bret Hart won. And then Bret Hart tried to shake Bob Backlund's hand after the match. And then Bob Backlund slapped him and put him in the chicken wing. And then that was the start of the whole Crazy Bob character that he was doing. Yo, that chicken wing is one painful ass move, son. That shit looks like
my brother did that to me would do that to me years ago. I was like, damn, of all of the submission moves, I hated that one. Yeah. Of all.
And I remember Survivor Series 94 when Backlund had Bret Hart in that move for like a good 5 minutes. It's crazy. Oof. But yeah, I did like that Bob Backlund heel run in 94. That shit was very, very entertaining.
I can't believe they put the title on him. I was like, my God.
What the hell is
this?
This is when I first started watching too. Yeah, this is literally like my early days of becoming a wrestling fan was, this whole angle.
Mm.
Yeah, but moving on to our next entry, number 13, Shane McMahon turns on The Miz. Bro, that's ranked up way too high. That's not number 13. That was the mega powers.
Wow. Carry on. I don't have nothing to say about. Move on, please.
Okay. Number 12. This is a really good one. Paul Bearer turns on The Undertaker.
Ooh, a sad one and a shocking one.
Yeah, because they were a package deal, like from that period they first got together in 91 up until that night. Yeah, Undertaker and Paul Bearer were a package deal. Yeah. And for Paul Bearer to turn on him and then align himself with Mankind, that was a huge shock.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I actually do a good Paul Bearer impression. I did it actually on the other show I'm doing on the PW Torch site. It's actually an episode we did that's dropping soon. It's about the 5 best WrestleMania builds. And I was talking about the Undertaker and Kane build. And I was doing the Paul Bearer impression saying, Kane is alive! Kane is alive, Undertaker! Your brother Kane is coming! Oh, shit. But yeah, great heel turn. That was definitely one of the better ones from that era, hands down.
Shocking one and a sad one.
Number 11, this one's ranked too high, I think. Batista turns on Rey Mysterio.
I remember this one, and at this time I wasn't, I had stopped watching wrestling, but I heard about it, and I did see the video of it. It's a good one, and it compared just like Undertaker and Paul Bearer. It's a shocking one, but it's a sad one because you got to remember Batista and Rey Mysterio were very good tag team partners during 2005, especially after Eddie Guerrero's passing. And how it all came about because Batista was trying to, get a title shot but Rey Mysterio, I don't know what he did. He kind of like cost him that title and that upsetted Batista. And then one of the saddest things that ever happened, I remember moving forward, Rey Mysterio talking about Eddie, but then, Batista lashes out saying Eddie's dead. And I was like,
oh shit.
Ooh. And then, but that was afterwards. But the actual heel turn when it happened is when he pretty much was saying Rey Mysterio, like, you've been really making me angry a lot and blah, blah, blah. And he just brutalizes him afterwards. So it's because of the relationship they had back then in 2005. And you fast forward to that point in 2009, because of that bond that they had, because of Eddie, and they split up. That's what makes it sad.
Yeah, very much so. And this was the start of the whole Hollywood Batista era, like when he went into 2010 and had that feud with John Cena going into WrestleMania.
That was a good feud.
It all started right here when he turned on Rey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't watching at the time either, but like from the highlights I saw of it, like from the beatdown, it was brutal.
Very brutal.
Yeah, everybody turning on Rey Mysterio. It's not cool.
I know. Him and Dom. Damn! Eddie Batista and his son.
Shit.
Damn.
How you gonna turn on Rey Mysterio? He's like the nicest guy.
And I met the dude.
I
Golly,
guess they
dude.
don't. I guess they don't
Huh?
like his taste in music.
What if you don't know what music he likes? Doesn't give a damn. What the hell?
Maybe I'm sure he likes Snoop Dogg. He rode with Snoop Dogg to the ring at WrestleMania 2 years ago.
Sheesh.
Yeah, man. But let's move on to our next entry, number 10. This is a very good one. Triple H attacks Daniel Bryan, leading to Randy Orton cashing in the Money in the Bank at SummerSlam.
That's a good one. Oh my god. And you know what? I was actually happy because Triple H, when he returned from his quad injury in 2007, he was literally like a baby face from that point up until then. That was way overdue. Jeez, I was saying to myself, no, I remember when he came back, I thought he was going to turn heel. I was hearing rumors that he was going to turn heel in '07, but he didn't. But anyway, dude, he was a babyface too long.
Yeah,
Even
I
after I
agree.
stopped watching wrestling, he was still a babyface. I was like, my God, I was like, and then when he finally turned heel in 2013, when he was, being the CEO and all that, and he helped Orton to, beat Daniel Bryan, which was another shocker. But just, I was like, thank God he's a heel. I was like, thank God. This is the Triple H that I know.
Yeah, and that was one of his best heel runs that he ever went on. Was that whole Authority era when him and Stephanie were
The
the
best or one of his
evil.
best.
One of his best, yeah. When him and
Okay, thank
Stephanie were like the evil authority figures again, and they had like Randy Orton as their hand-picked champion, and they had that
you.
whole feud with Bryan that went all the way to WrestleMania the next year. Yeah, it was great stuff. Yeah, him and
It
Stephanie were
just
great as the heel authority figures during that period.
it's just how the way that whole thing went down because Orton shows up. You got to remember, you're very happy for Daniel Bryan. Like, oh my God, he won the title finally. He beat John Cena of all people, and then Orton comes out, and you're thinking, oh my God, he's going to cash in. But then he's like, oh, he's just showing up. He's not going to do it. Whatever. And then boom, out of nowhere, Triple H pedigrees Daniel Bryan out of nowhere, and then Orton cashes in. That's the shocking part of it. And this is
Yeah, it
on a
was
pay per
great.
view. And Kurt, this is on a pay per view.
I know.
So like,
I was watching
yeah,
it that night. I was watching it that night it happened.
yeah,
Yeah, it was great, man. That was one of the best angles they did during that era. Yeah, Bryan wins the title. He beats Cena clean. He's celebrating. There's a confetti and everything. You think, the show's going to end that way. Then Randy Orton comes out teasing a cash in. And then Triple H, who's in the referee's shirt, he just pedigrees Daniel Bryan, tells the referee to tells the timekeeper to ring the bell, and then counts the pin for Orton to become the champion. Yeah, it was great. You were pissed off, but yo, this is great. This is cinema,
oh,
son.
oh. It was a sad, shocking one though. But at the same time, at the end of it, I was like, man, I'm so happy Triple H just finally went back to his old ways because that's the Triple H I know. He was just dude was
Yeah,
babyface for too long. It
yeah.
was like it was like he was like handcuffed or something like that. Like when I look back, from Triple H, like '07, '08, '09, I'm just like, damn it. Like, this is not you, dude.
Yeah, and like I said, like
It
the
ain't
heel work he
you.
was, yeah, and like I said, the heel work that he was doing for that period, yo, was top notch. Especially that angle that he did when like he had the police officers like arrest Daniel Bryan, but then they were actually working for him the whole time, and then he just beat the hell out of Daniel Bryan. He like slammed him on the announce table, he pedigreed him and kicked him in the face. Yeah, that was gruesome, son. Yeah, I was heated. I was heated when he did that shit.
Yeah.
But it led to one of the best storylines going into WrestleMania period and one of the best payoffs we've seen out of WrestleMania too.
Hmm.
Yeah, Triple H is honestly on my Mount Rushmore of heels. It's Triple H, Flair, DiBiase, and Vince.
Okay.
Okay, number 9. This one should not be ranked that high, even though it was a good heel turn. This heel turn actually happened the next year at SummerSlam. Nikki Bella turns on Brie Bella.
Oh, yeah. That is too high.
Yo, it was a good heel turn. I'm not gonna say that
It
it
was,
wasn't.
though. This is too high. It's shocking, but it's like, it's not
Well,
to
I wouldn't call it
put
shocking
that,
per se.
over to Mega Powers and just,
And the Mark Henry one was better than that.
hell yeah.
Yeah, but I saw that coming. I figured Nikki Bella was gonna turn because like Stephanie was like terrorizing Nikki Bella after like Brie Bella quit, and then Brie Bella came back and got reinstated to go against Stephanie at SummerSlam. And then when Nikki Bella came out, and then her and Brie were like standing in between Stephanie, I'm like, she's gonna turn on her. She's gonna turn on her. And lo and behold, she turned on her.
Mm-hmm. Just too high.
Yeah, and then they only like ran that like angle for a few months, and then they just got back together as if nothing happened.
Oh,
Mad whack, son. Mad whack. But this was a good heel turn. I won't
it
deny
was.
that. But
It
just
was.
way too high on the list.
I agree.
Number 8, Jimmy Uso turns on Jey Uso. Nah.
Too high.
Yeah, and especially from the way it paid off in the end in that WrestleMania match, yeah, I wouldn't rank it that high either.
Nah, it's too high. Yeah. Move
Number
on.
seven, number seven, I wouldn't even call this a heel turn. Becky Lynch turns on Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam 2018.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah.
That was more a super babyface turn than a heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the crowd cheered when she did it.
Still.
Yeah, right when she slapped Charlotte, the crowd went crazy.
Yeah, because everybody's kind of tired of Charlotte Flair a little bit. So.
Yeah, even Becky told the people in the office, like, yo, people are going to cheer me when this happens. They're not going to boo.
And they
Yeah,
did.
and it shows how brain dead. And it shows how brain dead people like Vince and other people in the office were at the time, like thinking that, oh, she's going to be a heel. They're going to root against her when she does this. No, they're not, bro. No, they're not. But yeah, it was great though. The way they played that out that night, that was the highlight of that whole SummerSlam, and that was the whole beginning of the Becky the Man character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't consider it a heel turn, but it was definitely a great angle, no doubt about it. Number 6, this is the most recent one on the list. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston turn on Big E.
Given to severity that they've been together for so many years, and that happens, I get it, but it's still too high. Just as we go up and higher with these rankings, I'm just like, these are too high.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, certain
And the
ones should have been
fact
ranked a
that
lot
the
higher than
Mega
that.
Powers was at what number? Was it 15 or
15,
13?
number 15.
Oh my God. That,
That reminds me of when WWE came out with this DVD of the top 50 WWE superstars of all time, and they ranked Hulk Hogan as like number 25. Look, we're not fans of Hogan these days for a lot of reasons, but come on, son. Number 25, come on, son.
who's in charge of this rankings? Is there? I thought the college football committee was worse. This is bad.
I think they did this on purpose to get us, like, to argue the way we're arguing right now about it. Is what
Of
it is.
course, of course.
All right, let's move on to the top 5. Number 5, the chicken tender slut Dominic Mysterio turns on his father, Rey Mysterio.
Speaking of Rey Mysterio, funny.
Damn, he appeared on this list 3 times. Holy shit.
I know.
Damn, but that
Sheesh.
was a good turn, though. That was a very
It
good
was.
turn. That led to a great story heading into that WrestleMania the next year.
You know what's funny? When I was at SummerSlam in 2021, I thought Dom was going to turn heel that moment. I thought he was going to turn heel around that year.
Yeah, I
For
thought so too. Yeah, I was thinking the
yeah,
same thing, but yeah, they waited
they
until the
waited.
following year, and it was
Yeah.
well done. That started Dominic becoming a part of Judgment Day, and the whole like dynamic between him and Rhea Ripley, and then the whole
Mhm.
ex-con Dom thing when he spent hard time in prison and
Oh,
held down his black,
okay.
earned that street cred.
Yeah, he did some contraband too, huh? He was selling, he was slinging and dealing, huh?
Yeah, he was Vatos Locos forever, bro.
Oh, yeah, right.
Bro, when he hears you
You
talk
didn't
like
want
this,
no. I see if he ran into Popeye, that would have been the end of him.
bro, when he hears you talk like this, you're gonna end up missing like Jimmy Hoffa, son.
Please, no, he doesn't want to deal with Popeye. Popeye would have he he would have demanded some chon chon from him. For my viewers, if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. That's that song from Pusha T.
Mm.
Yeah, but great heel turn by Dominic, and he's still one of the most despised people in the entire company to this day.
Do you think you ever turn back babyface?
Maybe someday. All right, but let's move on. Number 4. This is definitely deserving to be in the top 5. Shawn Michaels turns on Marty Jannetty.
Ooh, God, good one. And this is on a talk show. This is on the
The
Buddha's Beef
barbershop.
the barbershop, yeah. And this whole thing, just how the way it was planned, because there was like dissension between them. They even put this on the WWE magazine about how like just something going on between them two, and they both, well, Sean agreed to like, look, you're right. I'm gonna do better. Got to get my act together. Let's be a tag team. Let's do it like the Rockers do. And they both put their hands up in the air, just saluting to the crowd, and bang, he hits him with that super kick. And in insult to injury, he throws Marty Jannetty through the glass window.
Oh man, that was nasty. You did not see shit like that in WWE during that
And then
time.
Marty Jannetty, of course, he's bleeding, but you got to remember, this is what, 91, so it was very violent and graphic at the time, man. They didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah,
Yeah,
one of the best tag team breakups ever, and also one of the best heel turns ever. Where this is basically the start of Shawn Michaels as a solo act, as the Heartbreak
yeah.
Kid. This is like the
And
start of his ascension to the top.
yeah, and you do feel bad for Marty Jannetty, because Marty, he does nothing. They do nothing with him moving forward. Yeah, they did a feud with
No,
each other. They did a feud with each other moving forward, but like we're talking about long term, this not nothing compared to what they did for Sean.
look, yeah, definitely. But you have to look at it like this. At the end of the day, it's not just the company's fault. Marty Jannetty, in many ways, did it to himself.
True, yeah, because he had his problems outside the ring. That is true.
Bro, a month after that happened, he got arrested for like an incident outside of a bar, and he was put on house arrest for 6 months.
Oh my god.
That's why he wasn't at WrestleMania 8. They were gonna do this match between them a lot sooner at WrestleMania 8, but Marty Jannetty was on house arrest, so that's why they did Tito Santana instead.
Yeah,
And they didn't have the actual feud until like a year later.
yeah.
I think Marty
Wow.
Jannetty has the record for being fired the most times by WWE.
No.
It's been at least like 6 times. Him and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, I think, have the record.
Jeez.
So crazy. They were both a part of like really great tag teams where their partners went on to like great success, being like two of the greats of all time, and the two of them like both ended up having their problems to the point where they were like constantly in and out of the company, in and out of trouble, always having issues. More so Jannetty, but still,
Wow.
yeah, crazy man. But yeah, this is a well done angle. Definitely one of the better angles they were doing in that like early '90s period. Yeah, it was gruesome, son. And Bobby Heenan kept saying that Marty Jannetty jumped through the window.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but definitely one of the best breakups and yeah, best heel turns in the history of that entire company.
Mhm.
Number 3, Seth Rollins turns on the Shield.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was a good one. I didn't see it coming. I was super
I
shocked
thought,
when it did
and
happen.
I thought they were post. I thought they're gonna break up way earlier than that. I thought going into WrestleMania 30, I thought they were gonna break up, but they didn't. And then I
Yeah,
was
they
like,
kept them.
oh, I was like, okay, never mind. They were teasing it a little bit, but after that, I was like, oh well, I have nothing to worry about. Especially when they were feuding with Evolution, I was like, oh, just forget about it.
Yeah, there was some money to be made with them as baby faces, and they were doing well. And then just out of nowhere, they break them up.
Yeah, and to this day, it's debated. Even when they interview mainly Seth, he had his doubts about it too, whether if it was rushed, if it was too soon to break them up.
Yeah, there's definitely an argument you can make because they still had juice left as baby faces. They were like on a hot run at the time. But I guess
Yeah,
because Daniel Bryan had just like, been sidelined, they needed to, have more like single stars in that main event picture. So that probably played a big part in why they did it.
yeah,
Yeah. But it was definitely a good turn. Like, regardless of whether or not you felt like it was the right time or whatnot, it was definitely well done. Where just Triple H is cutting a promo with Randy Orton standing behind him, and he's talking about a plan B. And then Seth Rollins literally has a chair in his hand and just hits Roman in the back, and then
And you got to
hits
remember
that
that.
post
It,
and
it,
joins the Authority.
also, you got to remember that Plan B because you got to remember, like I think like the week prior to that, Batista left.
Yeah, no, Batista left that night. That night, Batista
Oh, that
left.
night. Oh, that night. That's right. Oh my God, it was that night. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, but it was a well done heel turn. One that they still go back in reference to this day, which is playing a huge part in the Roman and Seth Rollins issues right now. And I can't wait
Yes.
to see how it plays out.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so number 2, Hulk Hogan joins the NWO.
That should not be number 2. Should be number 1.
I agree, but this is the list they made. And yeah, Hulk Hogan's heel turn in 96 was groundbreaking. That shit changed the wrestling industry.
Yeah, not I'm not just talking about WCW, but also WWE, just wrestling in general. That's what really turned the um the 90s culture of wrestling.
Yeah, because before that, Hogan in WCW was still playing the same character he played in WWE, the same old yellow and red, the same old ear thing, the same old poses. And yeah, the fans
Mm-hmm.
were sick of it. Like they were already getting sick of it by the end of his WWE run, but they were really sick of it during this point in WCW. And then Hall and Nash come into WCW after being two of the top stars in WWE. And then they're talking about this third man for weeks, talking about how they have a third member, look out for him. And then he was going to make his appearance on this night. And as they're in a match with Sting and also Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan comes out to kind of back them up, or so it seems. And then Hogan rips his shirt off and they run out of the ring. And then out of nowhere, Hulk Hogan drops the leg on Randy Savage. Shit.
Yep.
I'll never forget. I was watching it live that night it happened, and I could not believe what I was seeing. Yo, that shit was
Crowd wasn't having it. They were throwing trash onto the
in the ring. Yeah, the ring was full of garbage. The ring might as well have been the trash can, like in the audience.
Yeah. I wish fans could be a little ballsier and do that now, but it's not that time.
They should
That's
have
one of
done
the
that
things.
with. They should have done that when Roman beat Cody 2 years ago at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I wish. I don't know. That's one of the things I miss about wrestling back in the day. I miss that when fans were upset, they'll throw garbage into the ring. I miss I really miss when fans brought their signs. I miss that.
Well, they still bring signs today.
But not compared to back in the day. Dude, it's like everybody had a sign. Show starts, that's all you saw was the signs. I was just like, oh my, woof. It felt like, oh. I feel like the
Yeah,
only time we see a lot. I think the only time when you see fans with a lot of signs is at a WrestleMania.
yeah, but a lot more nowadays. I've been noticing it a lot more lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're throwing garbage all in the ring. Even Mean Gene got hit with like a bottle or something. And
Oh,
yeah, it was nuts. It was pandemonium that night. Like I said, man, I was watching it live as it was happening, and yeah, I could not believe Hulk Hogan actually turned bad. And honestly, looking back at it, especially now, it was the right move because Hall and Nash
or
just came off of being in WWE, just being the top guys in WWE, just came to WCW, and Hogan was the ultimate WWE guy. He was the WWE guy. So yeah, it was a natural fit.
and sometimes in this business you have to make some changes with your character. You know what I mean? Like Bailey. Um,
Dominic
people.
Mysterio.
Yeah, you have to take some leaps and to make some changes of your character, and then it'll work out and it'll benefit you in the end. This was one of them, and he completely went to the dark side because he went to that bright red and yellow to black, darker colors.
Yeah,
It made it, and wearing black made it look in he made it look good and cool, man. To like, oh, wearing black and wearing these colors and being bad is cool. You know what I mean?
and he also had the black beard. And when he won the title the next month, they spray painted the NWO on the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
So
running roughshod. Like
they
that
were.
early part of the NWO, that '96 part of the NWO was white hot.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the best thing in wrestling, period. There was
Yep.
nothing WWE could do at that period, at least, to match what they were doing. Yeah, and it's crazy. Hogan was like the catalyst for two boom periods in wrestling: the '80s boom, and then the boom in the '90s with the NWO.
Yep.
And one as a babyface and one as a heel. That's unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, say what you want about Hogan as a person, whether you're a fan of his or not. That dude is definitely a legend. That dude definitely deserves his flowers in that regard for just being that face of two different eras, one as a good guy, one as a bad guy, and just having that longevity. Like very few people in wrestling have longevity the way that Hogan did. And yeah, you got to give
I,
him credit for that.
I remember years ago when LeBron James made a decision to go to Miami, they made a
Yeah,
video of him of that reference of when Hogan turned when he joined the NWO. They
makes
kind of like
sense.
made sense where it's like LeBron joining D Wade and Chris Bosh. It was the funniest thing I've seen. I was like, I get the whole message. Yeah,
They were basically heels that whole season.
they were. I hated the Miami Heat at that time, though. But when I
I
look
did
back at
too.
them,
I
I
really
look
hated
back
them.
when I look back at it, it's just so it wasn't that bad.
Hey, but I'll say this: even if you did hate them, it did make the games a lot more interesting, and it made the NBA in general a lot more interesting.
Oh, it
Just to
did.
have that, just to have that team to root against. Like in many ways, having that villain to root against makes it more fun.
It did. I missed that, but I kind of took that for granted a little bit. I
Yeah.
missed that compared to now.
Well, you still
Other
have
than
the
the
Celtics to
Celtics,
root
it's
against.
like other than the Celtics, it's just like damn. There's no team that I just like. Ugh, I want I want you mofos to lose. Except for football, when it comes to the Chiefs, that then yeah, that's different. But no, it already happened when they lost the Super Bowl. Thank God. But yeah,
But yeah, one of the best heel turns in wrestling history should definitely be number one. But it is what it is. Yeah, definitely a heel turn I'll never forget, and one that changed the wrestling industry and revolutionized this industry that we love so much.
yeah.
And number one, John Cena turns on Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about what happened in our last episode, and yeah, it's look, if you're new, if you're younger, and if you're new, then it is more shocking. It is way more shocking to be like, oh my god, because like you got to remember, your whole entire life, John Cena was a good guy. He was like your modern day Hulk Hogan. He was the face of the company. He was that person that you'll never seen this guy turn bad, but he did. But for us, because we're older, it's like yeah, it's shocking that he did it, but it's like okay, this is not the first time we've seen this. We've seen John Cena heel before, very early in his career.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's shocking because of the fact that it's the first time it's happened in years, for one, and for the
Yeah,
second time, and second for the fact that we kind of gave up hope on it by this point because he's
true,
retiring. He's at the end of
true,
his career. We figured like,
true.
yo, it's that ship has sailed. But lo and
Yeah,
behold, it
he did
actually
it.
happened.
Yeah. And I thought he was going to do it like years ago, but he didn't do it. But that's where I was like, oh, okay, then never mind. You know what I mean? But I'm just curious on how this is going to. I can't wait for next week. I'm just curious how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, that first heel promo and whatever he ends up doing with Cody, yeah, that is going to be something to watch, son.
Exactly. Let's see how this whole thing is going to turn out.
Yeah, this is definitely making the road to WrestleMania a lot more interesting. It's making John Cena a lot more interesting. And yeah, I'm all here for it, man. It's something I never thought would happen at this point,
But it
but I'm
happened.
glad that we got it.
Same here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it should be ranked number one personally. It should definitely be in the
Hogan should
top
be
10.
number one. Yeah.
Yeah, Hogan should definitely be number one, but this is definitely a top 10 heel turn, especially with all the attention it's getting from the mainstream media, with like Shannon Sharp talking about it, ESPN talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big deal, man. And also all the memes we've been seeing from it ever since. Like I think I saw this meme of like the Eminem Stan song where it says Stan when he writes his
Oh,
first letter to Eminem, Stan when he writes his
yeah,
third letter to Eminem.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, and Cody was the perfect person to do it to because yeah, Cody's just that guy right now, and it feels like nowadays whoever turns on Cody's going to be the most hated man in wrestling, and now of all people, that's John Cena.
mm-hmm, yep,
Yeah, definitely a heel turn for the rest, but definitely a heel turn for the history books, and one we're going to be talking about for a very, very long time.
definitely.
All right, bro. Anything else you want to get into tonight?
Not at all. I need to get some. You gotta get some more sleep, but I can't wait for next week. Um, yeah, follow. Be sure to follow us on social media, ladies and gentlemen, on our Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to us on Spotify and YouTube as well. And if you have the Speaker podcast app, subscribe to us. We're available on those platforms as well. And yeah, I can't wait for next week and see what's going to happen as we are still winding down that road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's popping. My favorite time of the year, even more than my own birthday. And yeah, follow our social media pages, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also watch me with Christopher Adams on the PW Torch website. We're doing various different episodes about the road to WrestleMania, different WrestleMania themed topics. Last week we did our 5 favorite builds to WrestleMania, and this week we're doing our 5 matches for WrestleMania that we wish we got that we did not get.
Interesting.
And I'm also going to be writing different blogs in the coming months about wrestling and also movies, different top 10 lists. And one of the top 10 lists I actually wrote movie related was the top 10 best songs for movies.
Mm, I saw that. It was very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So check out for all of that. And until next time, for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of Clash of Champions. Take care. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Don't get too fucked up for your own good. And remember, most of all, don't be an asshole in real life or social media because that toxic bullshit is for the birds. And Logan Paul,
And
too.
ladies and and ladies and gentlemen, as I always say, stay safe, stay blessed, and always stay adventurous.
Peace.